Breaking news, breaking news, breaking news, breaking news. Alec Baldwin's case dismissal further exposed the corruption going on down in Fulton County against Young Thug. Remember that. Pay attention. Listen to this to the end. If you're not, subscribe. If you subscribe, hit the notification bell. That's all I'm going to say. Because I don't know when I'm going to be putting the videos because it's summertime and I'm out doing me. Been gone 26 years. Sit back and listen and share this video with everyone you know of all ages so you can see how the justice system really works. It took 26 years of my life from my choices, but I didn't deserve life plus 20 years, but I'm not the same complexion as this man behind me. And neither is Young Thug, and neither is many of y'all that's watching me. Alec Baldwin has gotten his case dismissed with what they call, without prejudice. Without prejudice means they cannot try you again. Now I want y'all to sit back. If you're not subscribed, subscribe and hit the notification button. If you are subscribed, make sure you remember to go check and hit the notification button so you know when I'm be posting these videos. Now, Alec Baldwin's case was dismissed based on what they call a Brady violation. That's Brady versus Maryland. It was ruled on in 1963, and it set a legal precedent for the nation worldwide to follow. A Brady violation is saying that the government withhold what they call exculpatory evidence, meaning evidence that could have freed the accused of his crimes. And if you violate this on a Brady violation because what they choose to use is material to the case, then that means that they don't get another chance or another bite at the apple. Let's call it, I say the apple because I'm from the Big Apple. You know what I mean? In Brady versus Maryland, the state withheld statements that another individual admitted to committing the actual homicide. In other words, they charged the man with the homicide. The same thing that's going on in the Young Thug's case. Now, they trying to charge Young Thug, with the homicide that they wanted Little Woody to testify against. And Little Woody even told him, I did it. You know what I mean? So he's claiming it. Now, he said all of this in what they call the ex parte hearing. This was a hearing that Judge Suge Knight Glanville decided that the defense didn't need to be present at while he was doing something unprecedented and sitting in on a hearing or a meeting with the prosecution and the witness to coerce him into taking a guilty plea. Right there, the case should have been overturned. But he's not Alec Baldwin, and he's not, for those of y'all just coming and haven't watched the prison stories, go back and watch the prison stories. Means white, means black. This is Thug, this is Baldwin. When these men of this color go into the courtroom, it's a whole different set of rules and a different set of standards, just so you understand what's going on, okay? So now we have the court held, right? The court held in the Brady case, the court held that suppression of evidence favorable to an accused defendant upon request violated the due process clause of the 14th Amendment of the Constitution, where the evidence was material to guilt or punishment regardless of the state's good or bad faith. So the state can't say, oh, we didn't mean to do that. We didn't think it was important enough to have Young Thug and the other defendants present at the ex parte hearing. If you violate that, that's of a violation of the Constitution. Now, the Brady violation in this case come in when Little Woody said in that ex parte hearing that they didn't allow Brian Steele or any of the other attorneys to attend when Woody said, I committed a whole lot of crimes. I'm a criminal. I've been a liar. They never exposed that. When Brian Steele asked, hey, what's going on with this? You know, you had this hearing, you didn't have me present. They said, it wasn't important. It had nothing to do with you. But this is your key witness that you're person in order to testify, and you have the judge as your co-defendant. When the judge is supposed to be like Lady Justice, wearing blindfolds over their eyes where they don't see color, race, or creed. But none of that matters, you know, in a court of law when you're, let's get that straight. Now, so you understand, the suppression of evidence violated the petitioner's due process rights and required a retrial or a new sentence. So being that Alec Baldwin raised this at the beginning of his trial, mind you, just so you can see how corrupt the Justice Department is against our people, when you take so much faith in their decision making, but when it's with those people, yeah, I said those people, because we talk about blacks and we talk about whites. It's like we talk about Asians, you know, Hispanics. We're talking about those other people. So you rat bastards can play with this all you want to give you some content. But you cannot go in there and state that, you know, you knew something that went on was a violation, but you didn't think it was important, and then admit it was a violation, and then say, okay, let's have a do-over. Just like I try and talk to these young kids, Young and Ace, and, you know, the rest of these rappers out here making these videos, incriminating themselves, and shooting each other. You don't get a do-over on the street when you take a life, or in the court when the prosecution commit a miscarriage of justice, a prosecutional misconduct, because you know the rules. You don't attempt to cheat in a game of cards, get caught, and then tell the table, I know y'all lost 100,000, but let me get a do-over. Okay, I cheated. Let me roll the dice over. No, they're gonna blow your brains out. That's what happened in the street. So therefore, you don't get a do-over. In the court of law, when the prosecution committed prosecution misconduct, they don't get a do-over. When you take a life because of rap lyrics or rap beef, you don't get a do-over. This is not that hard to comprehend. I don't understand why this generation after me, because I violated and was taken away from society and wasn't here sooner for the last 3 decades to enlighten the youngins on what's going on, they have slipped off the path, and I don't know if they have it in their mind that they get a do-over or what they get, but it makes no sense to me, and that's why I'm reaching out talking to them. Now, the appeals court in the Brady case, pay attention, because you know we like to ride. We ride at the Mecca. Now, the appeals court in the Brady case, right? Now, the court held, this before the appeals court, the court held, however, that it could not assume that if the suppressed evidence had been used at the first trial, the ruling that the withheld statement was admissible as to guilt might have been disregarded by the jury. So in other words, the court is saying that you can't assume that with the suppressed evidence, that means held back evidence, that the jury would have been the same. You can't. That's where another case come in called Giglio versus United States. See, I know these cases off my head because I've been fighting these devils, as we call them, in the criminal world, because they're the devils. All they do is just try and get a conviction. They don't try and find out justice. They just want a conviction. If you're black, Alec Baldwin, his first day of trial, he raised a mistrial, and he got it, and he's a free man, and he can't be tried again because they said it was without prejudice. That means that they deliberately did this violation. Now, the suppression of evidence violated the petitioner's due process rights and required a retrial or a sentence. The trial didn't even begin. So you don't get a retrial, and he hasn't gotten sentenced. So that's how that goes. Now back to the Maryland case, the Brady versus Maryland, which is the lead case that's used in every case in America. The Brady case is called Brady material. That's where the government or the state turn over discovery, which is what they discovered during the course of the investigation, from talking to the arresting officers, the investigating officers, the investigating government officials. They have to turn that over, whether it helps the defendant or it don't help the defendant. To teach y'all some terminology, exculpatory evidence, right, is evidence that would have freed the defendant. Inculpatory is evidence that would have helped the prosecution, just so you understand. Now, we're going to go to the appeals court decision in this Brady case, and I'm going to intertwine it throughout this ride with the Young Thug case. Now, the court said that nothing in the suppressed confession could have reduced the defendant's offense below a first-degree murder. This is what the government tried to say, right? Was a ruling of admissibility on the confession as the issue of innocence or guilt. So the government tried to argue in the Brady case in appeal that nothing in the confession would have reduced the defendant's charge offense to below a first-degree crime. You understand? Now, and they said it wouldn't have nothing to do with his guilt or innocence, but it has nothing to do with the evidence that they're going to bring towards you. It's a matter of, did you break the law? Did you violate the Constitution by suppressing evidence that was favorable to the defense? Because if you did it once, we can't trust you in a second trial to do it right the first time, because you only get one bite of the apple, just so you understand. Now, the outcome in the Brady case, right? The judgment granted that the petitioner, mean defendant, a new trial restricted to the issue of punishment was affirmed, where the suppression of evidence by the state violated the defendant's right to due process of law and required a retrial or a new sentence. Alec Baldwin, just like Young Thug, they're raising these issues before the trial is over, during the trial, and before there's a sentence that's been handed down. So the standard is a lot less if you're white. If you black, the standards is just as high, because you got nothing coming. When they bring a black man into the court of law, they look at it like he's guilty, and then we have our black peers that say the justice system know what they're doing. No one is making a hoopla about them, dismissing Alec Baldwin's case without prejudice, where they can't try him again. But everyone is watching this Young Thug case, and we have so much of our people that's sitting there that say, oh, he's guilty, he's guilty. The court in the Alec Baldwin case is not deciding whether he's guilty or innocent. It's deciding whether they cheated or not, whether they violated Alec Baldwin's constitutional right. So now in the Young Thug case, it's a matter of, did they violate his constitutional right with this ex parte hearing, when little Woody went in the back and said, I commit many crimes. If they wouldn't have released these transcripts of that secret ex parte hearing that Judge Uriel Suge Knight Glanville participated in and pressured poor little Woody into, getting his black ass on the stand, Woody been telling them lies for years. He told them in that ex parte hearing, I've been telling lies. They said, well, go out there and tell the jury you've been telling lies. It don't matter, you our witness. We're going to impeach you too and make you look like a scumbag and try and show that scumbags of a feather run together, and Young Thug is one of your scumbag friends that ran with you, and Unique Mecca Audio is also scumbag. That's why he already served 26 years of a life with no chance of parole plus 20-year sentence, and now learned the law and could break it down to you on YouTube. Now, the Supreme Court held, however, that the appeals court had ruled that the suppressed confession, talking about the Brady case, was inadmissible as to the issue of the defendant's guilt. They didn't care if he was innocent or guilty. The problem was, did they suppress evidence that he could have used to help him? So that means you handicapped him. You don't handicap a man and say, okay, let me take the bounds off your wrist and let's try it again. You know what I mean? No, you don't get that chance, right? So now, this brings us to talk about Alec Baldwin trial that was decided yesterday, right? Now, check it out, right? Baldwin's trial was decided yesterday. The critical point here is that the Baldwin trial was decided based on Brady evidence. So while the facts and the defendants and even the state between the Baldwin trial are much different from the facts remaining in the YSL Young Thug trial, could turn on this lack of disclosure of key Brady evidence in a timely fashion in a timely court. Now, where I'm getting at with that is, when they knew, because we riding, this is how we ride for you newcomers. When they brought little Woody in the back and they threatened them, right? That's all Brady violations because they're holding back the fact that they threatened him. When Brian Steele said, I got word you threatened him, I got word, you told him that he'd have to be in jail till after the trial, and then, 16 or 28 more trials coming after that. Judge Suge Knight, Glanville, you violated, and you conspired with prosecution to cause a prosecutional misconduct. So you now the prosecution's co-defendant, and now you are witness to this trial. So therefore you must recuse, which means take yourself off this case because you violated my client's constitutional right under the 14th Amendment. I'm going to get into that further, right? So now, let's go to this. Let's talk about the judge in the Baldwin trial discussing the Brady evidence and giving, her verdict. In order to establish a Brady violation, is what she said. This is what the judge said now. In order to establish a Brady violation, the defendant must show that the prosecution suppressed evidence, the evidence was favorable to the accused defendant, and the evidence was material to the defense. Now, no matter how much of a layman, that means not knowing the law, we are and you YouTube viewers are, that by them threatening Woody to get in there with keeping him locked up, after they already locked up, his lawyer, Young Thug's lawyer, go to show that this judge is out of control. Now, in this court, the way they dealt with Alec Baldwin, I want to play a couple of things for you. I don't know if I'm going to play, but I might at least play one so you can see how the prosecution took the defeat, humbly. They took a humble defeat in the Alec Baldwin case. But these black sisters that we have down there with this house trigger that we have down there, Uriel, Suge Knight, Glanville, they refused to take a humble defeat on even this one issue and try to move forward. Suge Knight, Glanville could have just easily said, okay, we should have had you present, we had this hearing, whatever, here's the transcript, let's move forward. But instead, he tried to deny it and use everything in his power and put the lawyer, Brian Steele, in jail. This is what happens when you're black in America in the justice system. That's why, and I'm going to ride with this, right? I'm going to ride with this. That's why a lot of y'all don't really understand how important it is for Donald Trump to get in office. He witnessed the courtroom, how they play the minorities in the courtroom and take away their constitutional rights. So he know how they falsely indict us, falsely try us, falsely sentence us, and everything that's going on, and he's on a vengeance for them. But no, everyone is saying, oh, we wanted this in there, we wanted that in there. No, you need somebody that been in the fire, man. Somebody that been in the fire that know what's going on to change this corrupt system that we have. Sure, I should have been imprisoned. And sure, I should have got a decade, even 2 decades. But once I showed that I was rehabilitated by becoming a certified electrician, certified plumber, certified HVAC and refrigeration, certified mechanic, certified culinary arts cook, and I took 3,500 hours of psychological training so I could figure out why I was screwed up and stick to the street code under all circumstances. And like Malcolm X said, by any means necessary. I did all of that. And the BOP, the Federal Bureau of Prisons, said, that don't mean nothing. You got life, you're going to die in prison. They try to discourage me from learning. But I learned so I could send my certificates and awards home to my children and show them if my old dumb black ass could go to school and learn, so could you at your young ass age. And it worked. I got a son that's in the medical field. I got like 2 or 3 daughters that's into the cyber field. And they're getting very lucrative, money from them going to school watching this old dumb trigger. You know what I mean? Get his education. I didn't get my GED until I was 33 years old. Yeah, 33, 34, something like that. You rat bastard, figure it out. But anyway, right? So now you understand. Let's take a look at the judge in the Baldwin case discussing. He said, in order to establish a Brady violation, the defendant must show that the prosecution suppressed evidence that was favorable to the accused defendant and the evidence was material to the defendant. So you telling me that little Woody being forced to testify, wasn't material? Come on, we ain't even going to stay on that long. Dismissal with prejudice, meaning you can't retry the case. YML, Melly, the Melly kid that's going on, he just got a mistrial, a hung jury. But they refused to give him a mistrial. And here they go trying him again in September. They're not trying Alec Baldwin because he got the bag. And don't forget that. Don't think you're equal in this country because they allowed a couple of rappers and entertainers to become millionaires and have us looking at something to say, if they could do it, we could do it. No, a lot of them sold out in order to do it. And a lot of us refuse to sell out, so we stay on YouTube. You know what I mean? Just giving it to you like it is. The suppression of Brady evidence can get a case dismissed with prejudice if they suppress evidence that's material to the case. Now, Alec Baldwin case was dismissed without prejudice. Woody Copeland admitted that he committed these crimes and that the prosecutors didn't turn that over to Young Thug's defense right away, and the judge tried to conceal it with the ex parte meeting when all of this came out with himself present, that the prosecution and little Woody were confess he committed these crimes. Now, Brian Steele could have used that to do what they call impeach him. That's giglio material. You know what I mean? They could have impeached him and said, didn't you say that, da-da-da-da-da-da-da? So the prosecution thought they would be slick, and they gave Woody to go up there first and go up there and say, yeah, I lied. And everything that was in the thing that's going to make it better. No, you don't cheat and then say you get a do-over, because even in the street, you could lose your hand or your life. In the courtroom, you could lose your case, Mr. and Mrs. Prosecutor. That's the way this is played out. When little Woody admitted in that ex parte meeting that he committed crimes, the prosecution should have turned over the information to Brian Steele, the defense attorney for Young Thug. They didn't. That's the same type of Brady violation that we're dealing with the original Brady case, when another accused admitted to committing a murder and they didn't turn that over. Same way in the Alec Baldwin case, someone turned over the bullets to the police. The police took the bullets. They said, well, this person close to Alec Baldwin, so they probably lying. Let's take that and put that in another case, and we're not even going to turn this over in the Alec Baldwin case. But the prosecution knew about it. They had witnesses testify that the prosecution knew all about this. Now, I can't wait to see when they put these black sisters, if I could call them sisters, you know what I mean? Because they definitely working with the devil. When they put them on the stand and they get cross-examined by Brian Steele about why they chose not to invite him or the other defense attorneys to their ex parte meeting. You know what I mean? And that's what it is. I mean, the Klan have, indoctrinated, sisters in Georgia. Because this is definitely a lynching that they're trying to give the brother Young Thug down there. When Little Woody admitting in the meeting that he committed the crime, the prosecution, like I said, should have turned over the information to the defense, Brian Steele. That's just one of the possible Brady violations in the Young Thug trial. What else do you know about this Young Thug trial that's going on that you think how they violated? But you notice the first day of trial, they violated this European's constitutional rights, and from that first day of trial, the very first violation, the judge threw it out. Let me see if where is it at, man? Let me see if I can find, let me see, let me bring this down here. I want to really let you at least see this. I hope they don't try and hit it, on the YouTube joint, but I really want y'all to see, how they play this game, how they play this vicious game down there in these courtrooms down there. They just do what they want to do to our people. And there's nothing we could do about it because the citizens is already against us because they look at us as criminals and they look at people as citizens. I don't understand that. But, I've been on here long enough. I don't even know if I should show this. Let me see if I can get it up real quick, man, so y'all can see what's going on, It's this one where I really want to show you how the prosecutor in Alec Baldwin's case, she accepted her defeat with grace. With grace, She accepted her defeat with grace. Now, when she spoke on it, she kept it real. She kept it 100. She didn't do none of that fugazi stuff. She just took her loss on the chin. But then now, when you sit here and you deal with, yes, I said it, a black man in a white man's court, you don't stand a chance. And that's the end of the story. So as long as y'all sitting there playing these games, like if, we got equal protection under the law, we got equal rights, you know what I mean? You all the way out. You all the way out. Let me stop this joint right here because I found it, but I'm going to try and play it for you before I tap out, And, these people, they look for anything they hit when you giving our people real jewels, So let me come over here. But, let's say a prayer for Young Thug, man. That man is going through it. Y'all can't even imagine what he's going through, in his mind right now, having to deal with this bull thing going out. You know what I mean? Special prosecutor. Where is that? Special prosecutor. There she go. Kerry Morrison. Let's get her up here. All right. Let me hit the OK button because I'm going to log this in. I just want you to see how she, accepted it with grace. Now, you tell me if you could ever imagine these sisters down in Georgia taking a loss like this.
I understand that the court disagrees with me, and I respect the court's decision. There is absolutely no evidence that any of that ammunition is related to the incident involving Ms. Hutchins.
So the judge is wrong?
No, I said that I respect the court's decision. I think that people can disagree. I'm disappointed because I believe that the importance of the evidence was misconstrued by the defense attorneys, but I have to respect the court's decision.
Do you feel you let the Hutchins family down?
Do you regret not turning over the ammunition? Well, I didn't know that the ammunition that became the subject of today's hearing existed.
You still believe Mr. Baldwin was guilty?
That has never been a decision for me. That has always been a decision for the jury.
Did you let the Hutchins family down?
No, we didn't. We did everything humanly possible to bring justice to Helena and to her family, and we're proud of the work that we did. Again, we disagree with the court's decision, but we have to respect it.
So where do you go from here?
You heard what she said? That they disagreed with the court's opinion, but they have to respect it. Could you imagine these sisters in Georgia, or even Shoot Knight Glanville, speaking with such grace? But that's how they treat one of their own. And then when it's one of us, what they do is they put our own color up there so they can say it's not racist, it's not racial. This is how they play the games. So if y'all want to keep breaking the law, If y'all want to gamble with these people's courtroom, thinking that you're going to get, protected by the Constitution, continue to do what you're doing. But I'm telling you, don't do it. It's not worth it. So you rat bastards, don't try and switch my words up. That's all I got to say about this. Sit back, cop the book of Rowan Harlem, hit the notification bell if you're not, if you're subscribed and you didn't hit the notification bell, and subscribe and hit the notification bell. The key is not only to subscribe, but to hit the notification bell. If you're already subscribed, hit the notification bell. Let me tap out. Cop the book of Rowan Harlem at rowanharlem.com. So don't say that I did not tell you where to cop the book, and don't say I didn't give you these jewels, because they say ignorance is 9/10 of the law, and you can't plead innocent anymore because Unique Mecca Audio is giving you the jewels and the facts. All right.
Cheers, cheers, toast the crime, toast the crime, the crime, the crime, the crime.
What?
Fresh out the can of 26, he back on the strip, getting back in the mix. What he mentions a gift. You stand up 10 toes down, and I suggest you pay attention to this.
Real.
Take a little gully posse and put it in Harlem. He cut from the bottom, came up from the bottom. Drop the book, you should go and get it. An Instagram page and a YouTube you could go and visit. Then you could consider yourself LinkedIn. Sit front row and get from a kingpin. How you went through it, so you ain't gotta go do it. To not pay attention would be stupid. Talking about a man that probably put your grandfather on, that him and your grams, and that generated his time, never saw audio.
Mecca what? Mecca audio. Mecca what? Mecca audio. Mecca what? Mecca audio. Mecca what? Mecca audio.
Then we gon' do it like. We gon' do it like. We keep it moving like. We gotta do it like.
Get it live like 2 G's in the 90s. Drop top beamer so shiny. I let shorty go, she was whining. Treat her like my past, she behind me. Spend a couple bands on the Dapper Dan. You be back again, getting green like a Packers fan. No cap, it's a roaring uptown. They be horn uptown, Dominican bust downs. Now we on the positive, we got a lot to give. Now he trying to stop the kids from being inoperative. So take heed, homie, lend a ear. He started in uptown, he gon' finish dead. But now it ain't about selling drugs, buying cars. It's about buying property to make the community ours.